Hi, grade 11s. I was specifically asked to show you guys a walkthrough or put up a video of how to use the calculator to find roots and vertex from a quadratic. So that's what this video is. So the first thing we're going to look at here is we've got a quadratic that f of x is equal to negative 2x squared plus 7x minus 2. And I'm going to show you how you'd use the TI-84 to find the x-intercepts, the y-intercept, and the maximum value or vertex. And we know this is a maximum value because our a value is negative. So that means our parabola opens down. With the y-intercept, don't really need the TI-84 for this or any graphing technology. As long as the function or the quadratic is in standard form, it should be a pretty easy find for most of us at this point. But I'll show you how to do that really quick from the equation. All right, so first thing I want to do is, because I'm going to create this graph, what I'm going to do is I'm going to press y equals. That's going to bring up my plot. I'm then going to put in negative 2x squared. So negative 2 using my xt theta n button x squared plus 7x negative 2 or minus 2. Making sure that when I'm separating the terms here and here, I use the plus and minuses. But in that very first in the a term, I want to make sure I use the negative or the white button down here. And then I'm going to press graph. Great. If I did not see my graph or something was awry, I want to press the window button. And the window button will allow me to change my parameters so I can see it. By moving the x min or x max or the y min or y max, I can move the graph up and down or left and right just to make sure I capture everything I want to see. All right, so here's my parabola. My next step is I want to find the x-intercepts. So I see that there's two x-intercepts in this graph. There's one over here on the left, and there's one over here on the right. So I'm going to start with the one on the left. The first thing I want to do to find this, or the next thing, is press second function calc, or the trace button, second function trace, which brings up the calc function. I'm going to now calculate the 0. So I'm going to go down to 0. I could press 2, press my enter. It then asks me on the calculator for a left bound value. So what I'm going to do is I have to make sure that my flashing cursor, which you can see better if I move it down to the left a bit, this flashing cursor has to be the left of the 0 or the x-intercept that I am trying to find. And yeah, it's way down here. It's to the left. I press enter. It now asks me to right bound. So I move my cursor so I'm to the right. I'm now above the 0. I press enter again. The calculator then prompts me to make a guess. I press enter a third time, and it tells me that my 0, or my first x-intercept, is at 0.3138 and 0. I then find my second one. I write that down. You can see I've already done this. I've got, it looks like it's going to be 3.81. So to get that value, I'm going to go back through this process. Second function calc. I'm going to find 0 again. It asks me for a left bound. This time I'm making sure I'm to the left. So just to be careful, I'm just going to kind of come up to the top where I can clearly see it's to the left and it's not over here because I don't want it to interfere with this other 0. And I press enter. I now put in the right bound. So I'm going to move my cursor so it's right. And you can see here it's setting up a little arrow. I press right, it's all the way over here, it's now on the right clearly. I press enter, so that means I'm looking for the 0 between these two arrows, and it's right here. I press enter again, and it tells me that my 0 is 3.3.1861407 and 0. Hey, that's what I got over here. Awesome, so those are my x-intercepts. I now have to find the y-intercept. The y-intercept I can get right out of my standard form of the equation, because here it is right here, it's at negative 2. So my y-intercept in this one is at negative 2, comma 0, or 0, comma negative 2. And I can just record that quite simply. Finally, I have to find my maximum or my vertex. So to find my maximum or my vertex, second function calc again. I want to now go to my maximum. It's really important that I know the difference between max and min. I press max. It asks me once again for a left bound. I move the cursor to the left and press enter. I move the cursor to the right. I press enter. Make a guess. It's saying my maximum value is between these two arrows, which it looks like it is. I press enter, and it tells me that I have a maximum value right at the top of my parabola at 1.75 and 4.125. I come to my paper, I record that value. Just that easy. With you have the technology, it makes your life simple. Enjoy your couple of days off, and I'll see you on Friday with a comm check.